Good evening and a very warm welcome to your English news package with radio and television Tonga News. Making headlines, Tonga Geological Services advise mariners to sail 5 kilometers away from the home reef ocean. Office of the Legislative Assembly convey condolences to the British royal family and the House of Representatives for their sovereign queen loss. And the Pacific Islands Conference of Leaders is underway at the East-West Center of Hawaii. Now with the stories in details. Tonga Geological Services is advising mariners or people out at sea to distance themselves 5 kilometers away from the home reef submarine volcano. This comes after satellite images of detected volcanic activity from the home reef. The submarine volcano has been active since yesterday afternoon and is still active as of recording. Mariners are advised to sail 5 kilometers away from home reef at a latitude of 18.992 degrees south, longitude 174.775 degree west during this time until further notice. However, there is no tsunami warning and hazard alerted to the aviation community and to the Hawaii residents. Monitoring of the activities at home reef is ongoing and the public will be notified when conditions change. Tonga Geological Services will continue to monitor and survey the home reef. The Energy Division of the Ministry of MADEC strengthens their efforts to improve and to develop energy from renewable energy. Mark Ake with more on this story.
The aim of the Sustainable Energy course is for the students to provide research and to discover knowledge used by our ancestors in the use of natural forces to help the public use renewable energy rather than relying on electrical energy. The director of Tonga Institute of Science and Technology, Bonipate Tanusila, said the aim of this course is to reclaim and rediscover the knowledge and skills in our legacy used in the past in terms of renewable energy. He says they hope this course will help harness the natural energy provided by God as it is free to be used by people and to develop. Tanusila says they are trying to develop this course to level 3, 4 and even diploma and degree. A senior officer from Pakri, Paya Tawaika, says the establishment of the Sustainable Energy course is due to the need to meet targets of achieving 70% renewable energy by 2025. The overall generation from renewable energy, including solar and wind energy, is currently at 13 to 14%. However, approximately 20 people are taking this course, which takes 4 to 5 months to complete.
The Ministry of Revenue and Customs held a 5-day workshop which started yesterday with aim of improving its preparedness to respond to emergencies. The World Customs Organizations began an online workshop led by the project manager Mowes Ahmed to assist the Ministry of Customs at the Ngalo head office. Speaking to radio and television Tonga News, the Revenue Officer of Trade and Policy Division of the Ministry of Revenue and Customs, Balatasa Havea, says that this is the second phase of the workshop following the first phase that was held in August this year. After January's devastation continued to spread of COVID-19, the ministry tried to balance distributing the assistance, including keeping social distancing during the COVID-19 pandemic. The project's objective is to improve the customs administration's preparedness to efficiently and effectively respond to and to recover from future pandemics, nature disasters, and other disruptive events. He also explained the challenges they faced during the time they tried to release people's cargo after the disasters. We faced difficulties in trying to release and distribute drums of assistance to families who had cargoes from relatives from overseas after the volcanic eruption of Hungatonga. It includes internet disruption, as we can't access lists of goods and items inside these cargoes, also lists of cargoes in shipments and manifests. In response to the crisis, the World Customs Organization, with the financial support of the government of Japan, launched in June 2020 the World Customs Organization's COVID-19 project. It aims to support the World Customs Organization members, mainly in the least developed and developing countries, in dealing with COVID-19 impacts and enhance their ability to respond. The target audience for this workshop is customs legal services, customs frontline officers, relevant border agencies such as the Tonga Airport Limited, Tonga Police, National Authority responsible for disaster management, Ministry of Health, Trade and Foreign Affairs. This training will run from the 12th until the 16th of September 2022. Species in the ocean should be maintained to ensure a healthy Tonga in the future. This was part of the Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Fisheries opening speech at the launch of the National Workshop of Tracking the Law for Special Management Area this morning. This three-day national workshop is for town officers and committee leaders who address special management areas.
In an interview with the Chief Executive Officer of the Ministry of Fisheries, Dr. Tuikolongahau Halafihi, he says the aim of this workshop is to clarify the no fishing zone laws and regulations so participants in the communities can better understand the law and regulations of the special management areas. He added the SMA program is Tonga's version of community-based or local marine management, whereby communities are given the responsibility of looking after their own marine resources, both for themselves and for future generations. Since its inception in 2002, it has grown incredibly fast, with almost all coastal communities in the country now either with an SMA. Meanwhile, the chairman of the Special Management Area Committee of Nuku'alofa, Stephen Ifeao, said that although illegal fishes are still visible in some special management areas at the Eastern District, but they won't withdraw from the SMA program. Nuku'alofa also attended the SMA program in 2016. However, Melesila, the secretary of the Special Management Area of Tongatapu, added that there are many challenges they face and it affects them. The Ministry of Fisheries hopes to preserve species for a sustainable Tonga in the future. Nuku'alofa for Radio and Television Tonga News.
The Lord Speaker of Parliament, Lotua Whanua, conveyed the deepest condolences of the Legislative Assembly of Tonga to His Majesty King Charles III, the royal family and the people of the United Kingdom on the loss of their sovereign, Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II. Vaifanotu with the details.
The Lord Speaker of Parliament has conveyed condolences letters to the Speaker of the House of Lords and to the Speaker of the House of Commons of the United Kingdom. In these letters, he has conveyed the Legislative Assembly's profound sympathies and expressed their sincere appreciation for Her Majesty's decades of strong and steady leadership, not only in the United Kingdom but also throughout her Commonwealth family of nations, in which Tonga remains a proud member. These condolence messages were conveyed through the British High Commission's office here in Nuku'alofa, with the Speaker was received by Her Excellency Lucy Joyce, the British High Commissioner to Tonga. Meanwhile, a book of condolence in honor of Her late Majesty Queen Elizabeth II has been opened in the British and New Zealand High Commission's building here at Nuku'alofa. The book of condolence opened yesterday, available for the public to sign until Friday the 16th of this week. Nuku'alofa for Radio and Television Tonga News.
And the Honourable Prime Minister Huakava Miliku is amongst the leaders of nations and territories across the Pacific that are participating at the 12th Pacific Islands Conference of Leaders at the East-West Center in Hawaii. The conference's theme is Pu'uhonua, or the Pacific Way Forward. Huakava Miliku joins Pacific leaders and the delegates from the Cook Islands, Federated States of Micronesia, Fiji, French Polynesia, Guam, Hawaii, Republic of the Marshall Islands, Nauru, Niue, Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands, Palau, Samoa, Solomon Islands, and Tuvalu. Key areas of discussions include climate change impacts action and financing, COVID-19 pandemic recovery, industry diversification, the 2050 strategy for the Blue Pacific continent, that Pacific Island Forum leaders have endorsed, and the United States, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, Korea, and China in the Pacific. As the conference was founded in 1980, the summit provides a rare opportunity for island leaders from the North and South Pacific, regardless of political status, to come together as equals to discuss and address development goals and challenges while exchanging ideas and unique experiences. Sports is up next with Mark Ake, and it is kindly sponsored by Pacific Timber and Hardware.
Staff from the Blues Super Rugby franchise officially handed over 20,000 sports shoes and equipment to the Ministry of Internal Affairs at the Teofaiva Park this afternoon. The Ministry of Internal Affairs will then distribute the donation to youth and schools throughout Tonga that were impacted by the January 15th devastation. The program is called Best Foot Forward or Shoe Drive and is a common event held by the Blues. However, this year's program is focused at assisting Tonga and the recovery from the eruption and tsunami in January. The CEO of Internal Affairs, Dr. Fotufisiahi, was present at the handover ceremony and thanked the General Manager of Operations at the Blues, Sarah Diodny, and Sam Pierce, the Blues Community and Membership Manager. He also urged students who were present at the ceremony and will benefit from the assistance to make good use of the opportunity.
And it's all about putting a smile in the faces of the little ones who were in the position of desperate, a position of stressful that night, and they don't even know where to go. But today, you are bringing something to get them to the outdoor. What I recognize after the 15th January event, kids were, some of them were so afraid to come out. They were too afraid to come out, not even out of their house, knowing what happened that day and the revelation of that, there will be a consequence. So they were so afraid to come out. But today I'm quite sure, with all these shoes, the balls, and even the flags, they can come out and wave the flags. And I owe you a very sincere thanks to the CEO, the management of the Auckland Blues, Sarah and the project team. Thank you. That's all I can offer today. Thank you very much. You'll be touching a lot of lives as from today.
Meanwhile, Sarah Diodny said that the Blues felt for the Tongan community after the January 15th devastation and that they are happy to assist through sports.
I think that at the Blues we want to have a stronger connection with our people, and this is an opportunity for us to give back, and it's amazing what sport can do for a community and how everybody rallies around to support and help. So I think wherever we can as the Blues be able to facilitate that generosity and that kindness, we're willing to do so.
Former Ikaletahi second rower Haleti Pole was also at the handover ceremony and is supporting the initiative. The team will visit schools at the islands that were worst affected by the January 15th devastation. However, the donation of boots and sports equipment is designated for schools such as Tonga College, Tupou College, Tairulu High School, Queen Salate College, Tonga High School, Ewa High School, Hapai High School, and Liahona High School, to name a few. The playoffs for some of the youth futsal competition divisions were held on Saturday at the Atele Indoor Stadium. The under-14 girls held their semi-finals, which saw Tonga beat Veitongo 2-1 and Nuku'alofa over Ha'atiho 4-1. This means Veitongo will face off against Nuku'alofa in what will be a thriller of a final. Meanwhile, in the under-16 girls quarterfinals, Veitongo beat Lapaha 6-0, Loto Ha'apai over Whahefa 6-0, Tonga over Longolongo 7-2, and Nuku'alofa over Isileli Kapeta 6-0. And in the under-19 boys quarterfinals, Nuku'alofa smashed Isileli Kapeta 12-0, Whahefa over Ha'asini 5-1, Longolongo over Fuamotu 4-2, and Loto Ha'apai were the winners by defaults over Fasi Moyafi Atongi.
And that concludes tonight's English news package. But before we part, here's one final look at tonight's top stories. Tonga Geological Services advised mariners to sail 5 kilometers away from the home reef ocean. Office of the Legislative Assembly conveyed condolences to the British royal family and their House of Representatives for their sovereign queen loss. And the Pacific Islands Conference of Leaders is underway at the East-West Center of Hawaii. And that's it for tonight. Thank you for your company. I'm Alice Itopo. Have a blessed evening.